So though Patti starring Kriti, Sanon and Kajol is out on Netflix, the film is Kriti's first as a producer and writer Kanika Dhillon has also co-produced this one. The promos made this seem like another twisted thriller by Kanika Dhillon, but how good is this? Well, let's go ahead and find out. So the story basically is about twin sisters played by Kriti, Soumya and Shaili, who are polar opposites. Soumya more meek and demure, while Shaili is more outgoing and wild. The two don't get along too well and then fall for the same guy. Some stuff happens and well, Kajol, who's an inspector in the city, begins to get involved, and that's how the rest of the movie unfolds. I would say the best part of the movie is definitely Kriti. She's portrayed both characters really well and has a really good range of emotions as well that she portrays across the two characters. She's also solid in the emotional scenes and even cries very convincingly. Overall, I would say very good performance by her. Now speaking of Kajol, I honestly did not like her acting in this. She oscillates between a normal accent to a Punjabi accent to a Haryanvi accent whilst trying to portray her character of a cop in Himachal. And it just feels half-baked and off. Obviously, acting and emotions-wise, she's good, given that she's a good actress overall, but does she portray her role convincingly? No. Apart from this, we've got Shahid Sheikh as the hero, who is okay. I mean, nothing stood out acting-wise, but he wasn't bad either. I feel he could have been a little more emotive in certain scenes, but okay overall. Tanvi Azmi is the only other prominent character and she does a decent job here. Not much for a character to do in terms of range of emotions. Honestly, the story merely revolves around the four of them, so the other actors don't really have much of a part in this. Now, I felt the cinematography in some scenes was also very good, especially a lot of the indoor sequences. And lastly, the background music and sound also I felt was pretty decent and complemented the various scenes well. So well, let's dig into the negatives over here. And I've got to start off with the writing. So firstly, the movie takes some time to pick up, and then once it does and has a decent build-up, it begins to stagnate. Also, the story becomes fairly predictable, especially if you've seen movies written by Kanika Dhillon earlier. You just know there's going to be a twist coming given there are limited characters and they are so strongly positive or negative that one of them has to flip to make the story interesting. Also, from what the movie ends on, the relationship shown between the two sisters seems so forced for the overall narrative. It's almost like they wrote all these things to make the scenes crazy and attention-grabbing in the moment, but when you reflect on these at the end of the film, you just feel like, wow, this dynamic does not really make that much sense. Also, in some scenes, I feel the characters were forced into that scene or made to do things just to say a cool-sounding dialogue. Example. There's a party going on at Shahid Sheikh's house and both sisters are there with a bunch of other people who are getting drunk. All youngsters. And amidst all of them is Tanvi Azmi, the woman who brought up the two Kritis. It makes you really wonder why is she even here? And then later she comes to Shahid with a tray with 2 drinks on it and he picks one and she says, "Chunne mein galti to nahi kar rahe ho?" And it literally felt like the only reason she was shown in this entire party scene was for her to say this dialogue. Also भाई शहीर इसमें एक crazy rich industrialist है तो तन्वी आज़मी उसके घर पे नौकर का काम क्यों कर रही है? And what's even more troubling is that इस पार्टी में और कोई नौकर है ही नहीं, just Tanvi Azmi. Literally makes no sense. Well, apart from this, I also felt the movie had a number of continuity errors. There are scenes where Kriti is beaten to pulp and in the next scene her face is totally clear. There are also other flaws but I can't reveal those as much without revealing the key points in the story. And lastly, the VFX. The VFX in certain scenes, especially the paragliding scenes, is fairly bad and does seem jarring. So on the whole, I would say what seemed like a promising thriller through its promos really underdelivers mainly because of its writing. This thriller won't keep you at the edge of your seat, nor will it mostly make you have an oh fuck moment when the twist comes. So on the B&B meter, I'm giving this movie 5.5 on 10. I would say if you're looking to watch a good edge of your seat thriller, then this one isn't for you. Check it out if you're curious, but don't expect too much from it. Well guys, that's all for today. Do like and share my video if you liked it and drop in a comment to let me know what your thoughts were as well. And hey, before you head out, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more interesting content. Cheers and I'll see you soon.